Okay. All right, I'll start again. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. First, gotta give all praises, all honor, all glory. Is the mic working? Everything's good? So, 1 second. Yep, we're good. 1 second. All right. Give all praises, all honor, all glory to the Most High, Yahweh. We do so in the name of His only begotten Son, Hamashiach Yahweh Shah. Right? We gotta give thanks. We made it through another week in Babylon. It means a week closer to our salvation, to the redemption of Israel. Right? So, the topic of this week's lesson is why the New Testament. Right? So, whether you're a Christian, you're into Judaism, you're old school, Old Testament only Israelite, even a Muslim, no one questions the Old Testament, right? We all agree on the Old Testament, right? But the divide comes when we get to the New Testament. So for today's lesson, I wanted to go into the significance of the New Testament and why it's so important to us today, right? Even the atheist, gone. But before we do that, I want to play that video. Can you do the share screen? I want you guys to hear something. This is maybe about 2 months ago. This was. I've been seeing this video, but as the decision to teach this lesson came up, fair use. First, I have to say fair use. This is our thoughts and criticism of the content. This is fair use. So I just want you to hear what this woman says, and I want you to pay attention to the video. It's only a minute and some seconds long, but just listen to her and the people that she is teaching. You could bring it up.
A very dangerous thing that I'm about to say now, but since I'm a bit dangerous, I'm of the opinion that we need a third testament.
Pause it right there. She said,
because the Bible has been.
She said she's in the opinion that we need a third testament. Right? Can you rewind it a little bit? Because when she say that, I want you to hear something they say in the background.
Become problem. A very dangerous thing that I'm about to say. A very dangerous thing that I'm about to say now, but since I'm a bit dangerous.
What God said? Say it, Bishop.
I'm of the opinion that we need a third testament.
She's a bishop. This is a woman
because
bishop.
The Bible has become problematic.
She said, pause it right there. She says the Bible has become problematic. A woman bishop, and if like I listen to my headphones. So in my headphones, you can clearly hear a guy say it, Bishop. A woman bishop teaching men. The man says, say it, Bishop. And then she fixed her mouth to say, the Bible has become problematic. You continue. Hit that.
Obey your masters as you do the Lord. It's a text. Let the women keep silent in the churches. And if they have any questions, let them ask their husbands at home. Now, I'm a believer. My whole heart, I trust God with my whole heart. I wake up in the morning talking to God and God talking to me. But I am completely frustrated with the ways in which the text speaks to the kind of vitriolic God that makes those kinds of things. And people will say, well, it's in the book. And I said, then we need to pour that page out.
Then we need, this is a bishop.
They say, well, you can't do it. It's the word of God. I said, no, it's words about God. Come on now. But is it the word of God? No, it is not the word of God.
So you could stop sharing the screen, right? Now you could do a whole lesson on just that right there, right? You said, her problem, slaves obey your master, right? Now, we all know that is a verse that people use the white man used completely out of context when he was using it to justify slavery, right? And then she has a problem with let the woman be silent in the church, and if she have any question, ask her husband at home.
So these are problematic.
That's problematic to her, right? So, first off, I mean, I don't really care what she got going on. You know, that's her. And if that guy who says, "Say it, Bishop," if that, you know, if that's who he chooses to follow, somebody who says that the word of God isn't the word of God, then you know.
That might have been her husband.
Calm. Imagine exactly. Imagine her husband has to go to her for a spiritual counsel. You know, it doesn't make any sense, right? But back to our lesson, right? I just wanted to play that just to let you see what's going on. This video is actually a couple months old, like 2 months old.
Okay.
And on my YouTube, I follow, I'll say black preachers. I follow a bunch of black preachers just to see what they're teaching the flock, you know. You know, Jeremiah 23 says that woe to the pastors, you know, who led his flock astray. So I kind of just want to pay attention to what they're saying. I will give the Christian church credit because all of them came out rebuking her. That video, you know. So yeah, all the major pastors, the Mason, what's his name? Eric Mason. He's in the church in Philadelphia. You know, all the major black pastors, they rebuked her, right?
Can I say something pertaining to that? And you already know. I'm pretty sure they rebuked her because a woman's supposed to be silent. They know.
Well, that's not why they even rebuked her.
Yeah.
That's not even why they rebuked her. Nobody rebuked her and said anything about being a woman bishop or a woman pastor. Everybody rebuked her and saying that her problem was with the word of God. That's basically what that part they rebuked her on, right?
That part, okay.
But for us as Israelites, right? The Bible hits different. The Bible is different for us, right? We're not a part of the cult of Christianity. You know, they like to label Israelites as a cult, but what they do is cult. What we do is what the Bible say, right? So for us, it's different. So why is the New Testament important for us, right? I want to ask you guys first. I want to put it to the floor. Why is the New Testament important? Anybody? Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's important because all the things that are saying in the New Testament is happening in the world today. Not the whole Bible, but I'm saying the New Testament is like towards the end.
Come. Yeah, something share on you? It's God's written word, right?
It repeats what was said in the Old Testament, but we under the grace and mercy of the Most High.
All praises. You got something?
Yahweh Shai said he didn't come to do away with the law, but to fulfill it.
Fulfill it. Mike?
Salvation, buddy.
Salvation, right?
In the New Testament, all that.
Come. So the New Testament is important for all the reasons that you guys mentioned, right? And I want to go over, I wrote 4 different things in the New Testament, right? Because we don't look at the Bible the way the Christian church look at the Bible, or the way even the Muslims or anybody look at the Bible, right? Like, we believe this. We all believe that there was a man about 4,000 years ago named Moses walking the earth, right? We all believe that a little bit before that, there was a man named Jacob who had 12 sons, right? We believe these things, right? We believe that God made his promises with Jacob, with Abraham, with Isaac, and with Jacob, right? And that in us, we are the receivers of that promise, right? Right? Because that belief is unique. That belief is something that only us Israelites can claim hold to. The Christians will tell you, yeah, they believe it, but they don't believe in the promises that the Israelites get the promise alone, right? They don't believe that we believe the promises is for the Israelites alone, right?
What?
See, the Muslims contort the Bible. The Muslims twist. The Muslims believe that Jesus, Hamashiach Yahushua, had a book that was called the Gospel. Right? That's what the Muslims believe. They believe that Hamashiach Yahushua, they call it the Injil. They believe he had a book, that the Most High gave Christ a book called the Gospel. They're lost in the sauce. They don't understand what the Gospel is. Right? They don't know that Yahushua didn't need a book walking around, because he was the word of God. What Christ said was what God said. Christ didn't need a book, right? So this belief that we have pertaining to the Old Testament is unique among the Israelites, right? But one of the first things in the importance of the New Testament is confirmation of Old Testament prophecies, right? Now, let's go to, Zach, you have your mic, you have your sword. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. Right? Because the New Testament, like I said, about 2,000 years ago, Christ walked the earth. About 2,000 years before Christ, Moses, about 12 to 1,400 years, Moses walked the earth, right? So when Moses was alive, he prophesied certain things. Not only did Moses give us the law from the Most High, but hold that right there. Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 8. In verse 1. I want to just show you something, right? Because we want to be able to show what it is that we believe, right? Let's go to Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 1. We'll go back to Deuteronomy 30. But so Moses, not only did he give the law, Moses also prophesied things, right? You have it? You have it, Zach?
Not yet. Keep passing it.
You don't have your glasses?
Yeah, you already know, yeah. Oh man, I'm wasting too much time, man. Joella. We have the book of Nehemiah, chapter 8, verse
1.
1.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate. And they spake unto Ezra, the scribe, to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord Most High had commanded to Israel.
So you see, in this it calls the law of Moses, right? Now jump down to verse 8.
Nehemiah chapter 8, verse 8. So they read in the book, in the law of God Most High distinctly, and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading.
So you see, in verse 1, they call it the law of Moses, but in verse 8, the law of God. It's interchangeable. It's one and the same thing. The law of Moses is the law of God, right? Moses didn't make this up. He got this from the Most High God, right? But Moses didn't just give the law. Moses also was a prophet. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 30 and verse 1.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessings and the curse, which I the Most High have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whether the Lord Most High thy power hath driven thee.
So before we even got into the land, the Most High prophesies that he's going to drive us out the land. Because Moses didn't make it into the land, right? But this is Moses prophesizing this to the people. So Moses is telling them the Most High is going to kick y'all out the land. Before we even got into the land, it was prophesied we'll be kicked out of the land. Right? Let's continue. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And shalt return unto the Lord Most High thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thy heart and with all thy soul.
Yep.
That then the Lord Most High thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord Most High thy power hath scattered thee.
So again, before we made it into the land, it was prophesied we'll be kicked out of the land and brought back into the land. Go ahead.
If any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven.
You said it correct. Even though it says outmost, that's how you would pronounce it. Because like if you look into like 16th century English, a lot of the spelling is different than how we would spell it now. Exactly.
Yeah,
That
right,
would be
utmost.
utmost, othermost.
I remember that too.
Go ahead.
Yeah. If any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord Most High thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord Most High thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Right. So this is a promise. Go ahead.
And the Lord Most High thy omnipotent power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord Most High thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul.
So you could drop that for there, right? So we see a promise that the Most High, before we got into the land, he promised he's going to kick us out, and then he's going to bring us back in, right? Let's go to Isaiah 28. Let's start at the top. I just want to show some Old Testament prophecies, and then we'll see those fulfillment, a confirmation of those in the New Testament. You have a question, Sharwanya? Why he took us out? Well, the taking us out. So the Most High cleared off the land, right? Brought us into the land, gave us the land, because the Most High keeps his promises. He promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that their seed. Remember the story with Lot and Abraham when they had issues, right? When they had too much servants and cattle amongst themselves. So Abraham had Lot pick whichever side he wanted, and he chose the side over Jordan, and he went there. And literally the night he left, the Most High visited Abraham and told him, look on this side now. As far as your eyes can see, this is your land that I'm giving you, right? This belongs to you, and your seed are going to inherit this land. So the Most High didn't lie, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, like I said earlier before we got into the scriptures, we believe that we are the fulfillment of those promises, right? So the fulfillment of the promise he gave to Abraham is we'll have to take that land, right? But a part of this, and I'm glad you asked this question too, a part of this comes with a covenant, an agreement between us and the Most High, right? We didn't keep our
part. The agreement, yeah. Sure.
What about Canaan? No, so we didn't keep our end of the agreement. So the Most High, as part of the agreement, it's like you go to the bank, right? And you take out a loan. Well, a part of the loan says that if you rescind on this payment, you miss a certain amount of payment, we could come and claim whatever you have as ours. Well, a part of the Most High's covenant with us is if we don't do what he says, he's going to punish us. And one of the punishments involved is kicking us out the land. Right? We didn't keep our end of the agreement, so the Most High kicked us out the land. Right? Everything, man. All right, so let's go. Which one I said just now?
Said
Isaiah
Deuteronomy-
28.
Isaiah 21.
Yep, come.
Read the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 1. Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkenness of Ephraim.
So who's the Most High talking to here?
Ephraim.
Ephraim, right?
Yep.
But when he's talking about Ephraim, who's he talking about?
Us.
The northern kingdom,
Kingdom, yeah.
because Ephraim is the head of the northern kingdom. Go ahead.
Whose glorious beauty is a fading flower.
The Most High said that the beauty of Ephraim is a fading flower. It's like a dying flower. That's a nice symbolic poetry to let you see how the Most High is looking at them like, this poor flower's about to die. That's what it says, right? He says his beauty is like a fading flower. Go ahead.
Which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine.
So it's exactly. It's like they got a crown on of dying flowers. Go ahead.
Behold, the Lord Almighty Most High hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand.
Mm-hmm.
The crown of pride, the drunkenness of Ephraim, shall be trodden under feet.
So the Most High is showing he's doing away with Ephraim. Like, and not just that, he said that he has a strong one. He's going to send somebody for Ephraim that's going to trod them under feet, that's going to overthrow them, right? Go ahead.
Let me see. First, Isaiah 28, verse 4. And the glorious beauty which is on the head of the fat valley shall be a fading flower.
So that beauty that's on the Ephraimite's head is going to be a fading flower again. He used that imagery. Go ahead.
And as the hasty fruit before the summer, which when he that looketh upon it see it,
Mm-hmm.
while it is yet in his hand, he eateth it up.
So he's comparing Ephraim. He said that people that he's going to send is going to look at Ephraim like a fruit that's right before summer. You don't stand a chance. You're just going to eat that up. That's not even going in the basket for saving for later. We just going to eat it up right now. Go ahead.
In that day shall the Lord Most High of hosts be for a crown of glory and for a diadem of beauty
Mm-hmm.
unto the residue of his people,
Mm-hmm.
and for a spirit of judgment to him that sitteth in judgment, and for strength to them that turn the battle to the gate.
So the first 4 verses talking about putting away Ephraim. This next one is talking about restoring Ephraim. In that day, he's gonna be So he compared them as a crown of dying flowers. But then in this verse it says, shall be a crown of glory and a diadem of beauty. A diadem is like the gem inside of a crown. Like this would be considered a diadem, right? So the Most High is saying he's going to be the beauty for them, the crown, that he's going to give them the crown now, right? So he's showing, put away, bring them back, restore, right? Continue.
Verse 7, Isaiah 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine
Mm-hmm.
and through strong drink are out of the way.
So now, who is this he's talking about? He says, so he already talked about Ephraim. He says, but they also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. Go ahead. Let's this verse on. I gotta look for one.
The
to read.
priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They're err in vision.
All right. So who is he talking about? This is Southern Kingdom now.
So which one is good?
Hold this right here. Let's get. I want to read this verse and then we'll go there. Right? It says, but they also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophets. Hold that right there. Let's go to Romans chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Romans. Chapter 3, verse 1.
Mhm.
What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there of circumcision?
Verse 2.
Much every way, chiefly because that unto them were committed the oracles of the Most High Power.
So the oracles of God, the words of God, the prophets. The Jews were the prophets. Judah, southern kingdom, was the prophets. You understand? So let's go back to Isaiah 28. Which verse was that?
Verse 8.
Verse
Verse
8, right?
Yeah.
So read it again.
28, verse 8.
Mm-hmm.
For all tables are full of vomit.
Not verse 7. Start at 7 again.
Start 7 again, yeah. Isaiah 28, verse 7. But they also have erred through wine, and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have
We all know
erred.
who the priest is, right? What tribe is the priest? So Levi's southern kingdom, right? The priest and the prophet, Levi and Judah. This is who he's talking about. The priest and the prophet. Go ahead.
Yeah. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They erred in vision. They stumbled in judgment.
So he's chastising the whole nation in Isaiah 28. The whole nation, because we had already separated by the time of Isaiah, right? Isaiah actually prophesied the destruction of Ephraim, but he said he was going to keep Judah. But Judah looks down on Ephraim now, but the Most High is rebuking them also. Y'all also err from strong drink, right? Go ahead, verse 8.
Isaiah 28, verse 8.
Mhm.
For all tables are full of vomit and filthiness, so that there is no place clean.
Mm-hmm.
Whom shall he teach knowledge? And whom shall he make to understand doctrine?
Mm-hmm.
Them that are weaned from the milk.
So, we always use this. This is how we understand the Bible, right? Go ahead.
Said, and drawn from the breast.
Mm-hmm.
For precept must be upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So that's how we understand the Most High. We can't take one verse and run with it. We can't just take one verse and run with it. We have to understand what the Most High is talking about. He's going to here a little, there a little. We're building up the understanding. You got something?
And that's what they're doing in the world today. That's why I be forced doctrine, keeping the people like this. I was want to say
exactly. They'll build
scattered.
Like take for example the Pentecostal church. They build their whole doctrine off Pentecost. Acts chapter, what's that? Chapter 2, right? They build their whole doctrine off that. But the Most High says here a little and there a little. You're not going to get the understanding of the Most High off one verse. Let's continue.
Yeah. It's at verse
11.
11, yeah. Isaiah 28, verse 11. For with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to this people.
So you see, that's prophesied right there. We'll lose our language. But the Most High is still not going to cast us off. It says, with stammering lips and another tongue will he speak to his people. Will he speak to this people? Go ahead.
To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Mm-hmm. So he says this was the rest. This was supposed to be, when we got into the land, that was supposed to be our rest. But we wouldn't listen. Go ahead.
But the word of the Lord Most High was unto them precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little.
So the Most High confused them. What was supposed to be understanding for us, they use it now to not understand the Most High. You understand that precept upon precept is supposed to be how we get the understanding of the Most High,
Right.
but they use it in another way, opposed to the Most High. Go ahead.
That they might go and fall backward and be broken and snared and taken.
So they use the precept upon precept so that they could fall backwards and be snared and be taken away, right? They have no understanding. You hold this right there. Go to fast forward to Isaiah 29, verse 10.
Or 10, I'll say 14. Okay. Remember the book of Isaiah chapter 29, verse 10. For the Lord Most High have poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and have closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers hath he covered.
So the Most High poured out deep sleep upon this is Southern Kingdom, right? Go ahead, continue.
And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed.
And that's why what's this Creflo Dollar said he won't teach the book of Daniel unless somebody give him $1 million. The book is sealed, right? They're not going to teach prophecy. You really think that's why he's not doing it, or is it because he can't understand it? That if he go into the book of Daniel, it's going to contradict what he teach.
Exactly.
That's why they're not going to teach.
Because it's
The churches do not teach prophecy.
No, they don't.
The book of Revelation says prophecy is the spirit of Hamashiach. So if you ain't teaching prophecy, you don't have the spirit of Christ. Right? Go ahead.
I want to say something to what you said about Creflo, right?
Mm-hmm.
He said, and people can Google up, it's one of his tapes. He said, throw away all your books. And he said, throw them away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. These churches teach, they teach that to want to keep the law is wicked.
Yeah.
That's what they teach, right? So let's continue with Isaiah 29, then we'll go back to 21. The book.
With Isaiah 29, verse 11.
Start again.
No, verse 12. No,
11.
Verse 11. 11 again?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Isaiah 29, verse 11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed.
Right? The words is of the Most High is sealed to the preachers. Right?
Yeah.
Unless you have the spirit of the Most High, you're not going to be able to understand this. Go ahead.
And the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I am not learned.
Right? So the Most High said that he would put that spirit of sleep on us, and we're not going to be able to understand this Bible, right? So let's go back to 28. We was at verse 12.
Verse 14?
13.
14.
14.
Yeah. Now the book of Isaiah chapter 28, verse 14. Wherefore hear the word of the Lord Most High, ye scornful men,
Mm-hmm.
that rule this people which is in Jerusalem.
Uh-huh.
Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death.
So you see what we did? We made a covenant with death. Go ahead.
And with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, for we have made lies our refuge, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves.
You know, this is also going into future of our alliance with the Roman Empire. We actually made an agreement with the Roman Empire. You know why? Because we agreed to help. We invited Rome into Israel to help get rid of the Greeks. We had an allegiance with the Romans. So we had an agreement with hell and with death. And we said, when that destruction comes, it's not going, the Romans, they not going to do nothing to us. Right? And the Romans end up destroying our people, destroying our temple. What was it? The siege of Jerusalem, 70 AD, right? I didn't bring it in. If you look like in the writings of Irenaeus, right? He's from around 140 AD, and he says that they have word that when the siege came, people were eating their children, because this wasn't what they do. Is they cut off access to water, access to merchants, everything, just blocked us in. And this was a 3-year siege. I believe it's from 4-year siege, 66 AD to 70 AD. People were eating their children.
It's crazy.
People were dying. People was willingly betraying Judah for food. Like in the nights, they talk about people would try to sneak into the Roman barracks so that they could get some food, right? But we had an agreement with them. We thought we were safe. We thought, well, Rome, oh, they are allies, right? But the Most High said we have an agreement with death, and we think, what they say, because we made a covenant with death, and with hell we are in agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come onto us. This is how we thought. Go ahead.
This was a repeat of what happened during the Maccabees.
Come.
That's exactly what happened.
Exactly. It's the same
They
thing.
did the same thing. They said, let us make a league
With them.
Get ready to agree.
Con.
Especially after Alexander went through and just trampled
Everything. Yeah, con.
And
What?
his 4 generals took over and really destroyed
Antiochus, yeah, he's a devil, right? Yeah, something.
Yeah, I got a precept for you on Jeremiah 19:9.
Bring it up.
And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters. And they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege that straineth, wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall restrain them.
You see, you understand that the Most High prophesied this.
Right.
We thought we was good, right? Let's go. Let's finish this Isaiah verse 16.
Yep, read out the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Most High, thy power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste.
Now, who's this talking about? Hamashiach Yahushua, right? And that was the test for the southern kingdom, right? Because he said in the first couple of verses, Ephraim, they done. It's now our judgment time. We already knew he had put Ephraim away already, but now it's our judgment time. And our judgment was Hamashiach Yahushua, how we dealt with him, right? The Most High said, I lay in Zion. Zion is Jerusalem. He lay in Jerusalem. So anybody that tell you that they're OT only, right? And this is a confounding question to them. If you don't believe that Hamashiach Yahushua is the Messiah, when is Isaiah 28:16 going to happen? Does that mean we'll have to go back into the land, and then he's going to put the Messiah into the land with us, and then he's going to kick us out again? It doesn't make sense. That it could only mean Yahushua was who that was. All right? Let's continue. Verse 17.
Isaiah 28, verse 17. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet.
So all this is saying is judgment to the line and righteousness to the plummet. This is old school measuring things. So he's going to measure us by Hamashiach Yahushua. Go ahead.
And the hail shall sweep away the refuse of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place.
Go ahead.
And your covenant with death shall be dissolved,
Go ahead.
and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it.
So the Most High is saying, he's going to disannul your covenant with the Romans, and they're going to destroy you. And your bed of lies, that's your refuge, ain't going to stand. You're just going to get swept away in this destruction. Go ahead.
From the time that it goeth forth,
Mm-hmm.
it shall take you, for morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night,
Mm-hmm.
and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report.
So that you could understand who this person was. That I always say that Yarapa taught that class, and it struck me where the Yahweh Shah gave the parable of the vineyard about the man who left his vineyard to husbandmen, and they killed the husbandmen. Then he sent his son, and they killed his son. And Yahweh Shah ended the parable with a rhetorical question to the disciples. He said, "What do you think the owner of that vineyard will do to those servants?" That blew my mind, because it's like, bro, we kill the prophets. Yahweh Shah said it. Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that kill the prophets. We kill the prophets. We kill the son. So what do we think God is going to do to us? Right? And this is what Isaiah 28 is going into, that it's going to be so that we can understand. He's going to give us this vexation so we can understand. Verse 20.
Yep. Verse 20 out of Isaiah 28, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
For the bed is shorter than that a man can stretch himself on it,
Mm-hmm.
and the covering narrower than that he can wrap himself in it.
Mm-hmm. So what's this saying? The Most High is letting you know you're not gonna be comfortable. Your bed too short, your legs hanging off, you turn over the cover, no comfort. The Most High is not giving you no comfort. That's what he's saying. Yahweh Shah was the judgment, right? Ultimately, we failed the judgment, and this is the reward for it.
That's very interesting, because that is also like reminiscent of what Paul said about how, he has this thorn in his side. There's no comfort.
There's no comfort.
No matter whether you are keeping the law
Or not,
you're
yeah.
still not going to be comfortable until you have a shot return.
Khan, we're under that punishment, right? So before we go into the fulfillment of these, I got a couple things that I want us to read. Now, the term New Testament, can you click on that first one there? The first thing right there, yep, at the stage. We're just gonna go through a couple of these real quick. It says add the stage. You see that button right there? Yep. All right. So I want to let you understand where this term New Testament even came from, right? So can you read that, Zach? Or I could read it.
But you can widen it with the glasses.
I'll read
with the
it.
glasses on.
I'll
It's
read
just
it.
for the book.
All right, cool.
I can read that though.
So
You can widen it a little bit.
can you scroll on it? You click in it, scroll it.
It says the team New Testament, term New Testament, Paul.
No, it's okay. I'll read it. It
Nah,
says
I can read it.
you got it. Got it.
Yeah. You can't widen a little bit, but still it says the term, the New
You
Testament.
should be able to just click in the black spot right there.
Yeah, there you go, right there. Just bring it down though.
Bring it down so
Bring
you
it
can
down a
read.
little
No, you good. You good. You good.
Okay, the term New Testament was coined by the early Christian writer Tertullian, c. 155-240 AD, to translate the Latin novum to testatum,
Testamentum.
the testamentum, which references the New Covenant. The actual collection of 27 books we use today was assembled originally by early church leaders and officially recognized through centuries of church tradition.
So the term, the New Testament, was not applied to what we call the New Testament until around 155 AD, right? And it was ascribed to Tertullian, right? Read
Next one.
mhm.
The naming and
Compilation.
compilation process happened gradually. The name Tertullian was the first to use the phrase widely.
Mhm.
It is the Christian adoption of a
Adaptation.
concept found in the book of Jeremiah, which speaks of God the Most High establishing a new covenant with his people.
So the word New Testament comes from the Latin word Novum Testamentum, which means New Covenant. Right? Go ahead. The book names.
Yep, the book names. Individual book names and ascriptions were assigned over a century after the texts were originally written. For example, the four canonical Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, remain anonymous until Church Father Irenaeus explicitly attribute them to these authors around 180.
All right, you should take that down. Take that down and go to the next one. Now, I want to say something about this. Now, how did they know who wrote what? They followed what is in the scriptures. For example, John was in Ephesus, right? John preached. So what they did was they tracked which disciples and where they gathered the books from, and that's where they ascribed this to Matthew, this to John, and so on, right? But it wasn't put together until really late, right? Hit the second one. This is just some facts about the New Testament, right? And how we get the scriptures. Read it.
I was already.
Not you. That was the old other one.
Yeah.
So you have to hit remove for that first one.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and now it's there already. So you just big it up, like make it maximize it. It's already there.
Okay, now okay. Wait, I got it. Wait, what?
All right, the top is gonna go. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. The New Testament is the foundational second part of the Christian Bible, containing 27 originally
27 books.
Yeah, containing 27 books originally written in Koine Greek. It details the life, teachings, death, and resurrection of Yahushua Mashiach, the chronicles, the origins, and doctrines of the early Christian church.
And this is very important also, because we have, I'll get to that in the importance of the New Testament, but we need the New Testament for that reason, main reason, because like I said earlier, we look at the scriptures completely different than other people, right? I said we believe Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, these are real people. Moses, real people. Well, the Old Testament is not just accounts of real people, it's history of the Israelites. Something significant happened that made the New Testament have to be written. Can anybody guess what that is? Something significant happened that made the New Testament have to be written, have to be documented.
The resurrection and the promise.
The resurrection is part of it, but the what? Well,
Them to, what am I trying to say?
he said resurrection. Y'all both are correct, right? I want to say this, but that's the second half of it. Anybody?
The prophets, the resurrection.
The importance, the reason I'll say this plain. The most important reason that the New Testament has to be written and recorded is because the prophesied Messiah was born. They have to record this. This is very important. Imagine the Bible we had right now only had up to Malachi. Right? up to what's the last book in the Old Testament? It's Malachi? Malachi, right? How would we know that Christ born, lived, and died? It is very important for us to know that Christ born, lived, and died, right? Because throughout the Old Testament, there's prophecy of this Messiah coming. So it's very important that we know that the Messiah came, right?
What?
Because if you go in Genesis, there's prophecies of Yahushua, right? Exodus, prophecy of Yahushua. Throughout the Bible, prophecies of Yahushua. Even a book like Job, prophesy of Yahushua, right? Throughout the scriptures, the prophecy of this Messiah to come. Now, me, let's say I lived in Jerusalem, right? Let's say 40 AD. Christ is dead 7 years now. Let's say 40 AD. I'm a Jew, but I don't live in the land. I live in Africa. I live in Egypt. How am I supposed to know that the Messiah came? Somebody had to write. And that's what people don't understand the Bible. That Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, these are eyewitness accounts. Right? These are eyewitness accounts. People, this is so significant, right? Like we're the 12. We followed Christ around. Christ died. Bro, we got to tell somebody. we can't just sit on our hands with this. We can't just say, well, he died. Take this to the grave. No, we have to tell somebody about this. We have to tell people about this. So we have to write this down and let people know. And the criticism that people give against the New Testament is the strongest proof of it. That when they say, well, Mark and Luke wasn't the 12, they weren't disciples. Well, that's even more proof that not only did Matthew and John feel the significance to write his life, people that came after the fact heard this and said, we need to tell somebody about this. Right? And hold. Exactly. Con. Let's go to Luke chapter 1, verse 1. I want to show you something that's very interesting. Like, it is so interesting that, let's read Luke 1 verse, we'll go to 3. 1 verse 1 to 3.
That book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 1. For as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most surely believed among us.
You see how Luke starts this? He said, and he says many people have decided to write about Christ. So just from the Bible, we know that a lot of people chose to write about Christ, not just what's in here. Right? Go ahead.
Even as they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses.
So the people that gave Mark and Luke these documents were eyewitnesses. Go ahead.
And ministers of the word.
Go ahead.
I will say something right quick. Eyewitness news. They got all that stuff from the Bible, you know, right? Eyewitness. Maybe not, you know. It's just, they ain't gonna tell us everything now. But the scripture I want to read. Go
Verse 3.
It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things from the very first, to write unto thee in order, most excellent Theophilus.
Right?
Theophilus.
So I'll tell you some. You might not have been aware, but if you read, you probably could have been aware. The book of Luke and the book of Acts is one book.
Oh, okay.
The book of Luke and the book of Acts is one book. It's literally to the same person. To Luke writing it to Theophilus, right? And so Luke is letting you know that it says, and it seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding of all things. So Luke heard it and he got done like, yeah, I understand this perfectly. And it's up to me to let you know how it happened.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds like black people. Let me put you on game.
And they always say that, right? Yeah, they always say that.
See, I was told, I had heard, right? And he go ahead and he write his what is told to him by people who were eyewitnesses of it, right?
Yeah, right. Con.
And that to me is perfect. That to me is perfect. Because if this man Christ lived, if what we believe happened, right? Somebody would have wrote about it. And not just them people that did it writing about it, they would have told somebody, and then other people who believe would have been like, yo, this can't die with me. Let me pass it on what I know, right? And that's how people work. That's how humans are. If I seen, I'll use a modern thing. If you was like ground zero of 9/11, you would have told somebody about it. Like, yeah, bro, I was like perfect view. I seen all, and you're gonna tell somebody. That's how humans are. We've seen something spectacular, something amazing. We have to tell somebody. And that's what's going on in the New Testament. Matthew and John were eyewitnesses. They were of the 12. They seen something spectacular, wondrous, marvelous, miraculous. They had to tell somebody. Their students had to tell somebody, right? And we know, you see it in Acts. Give me 1 second. What's that? Read verse 4.
In the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 4. That thou mightest know the certainty of those things wherein thou hast been instructed.
It says that you might know the certainty of those things wherein thou hast been instructed. So we don't even know who Theophilus is, but all we know is Theophilus is a fellow believer.
Yeah.
Right? Luke is writing it to him, letting them know, and letting you know, Theophilus, the certainty in the things that we told you. Right? Yeah,
I want to say something pertaining to you saying. You see how, because we know this is by the Spirit, right? If people not walking in the Spirit, you're going to want to, if you're not walking in the Spirit, you're going to do things contrary to the Word of God. And that's what people doing out here today. And then these churches, never say one last thing. They keep us divided. They don't want us. They want us to share their doom. They don't want us to know this.
I wanna read
a
couple things.
Then
let's go to Acts chapter 12. I just want to show you something.
That's right.
Acts chapter 12. Let's go to 12. Acts 12.
You know the book of Acts chapter 12, verse 12.
Start at 11.
Acts chapter 12, verse 11. And when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that the Lord Most High has sent his angel and have delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. And when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate.
That's the wrong one. I'm sorry. I'm looking for Acts 15, Salakia. I want to show you Mark in the scriptures.
15:12 or no?
15:37.
27?
37.
37, okay. In the book of Acts chapter 15, verse 37.
This is also the same person also. Go ahead.
Okay. And Barnabas determined to take with them John, who
Start 36.
In the book of Acts 15, verse 36. And some days after Paul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Lord Most High, and see how they do.
Mm-hmm.
And Barnabas determined to take with them John, whose surname was Mark.
Right? It's John, whose surname was Mark. Go ahead.
But Paul, though
Because
not
remember,
good,
Salaki, in Acts chapter 12, it mentions John, the son of Mary, whose surname was Mark, that he was with Peter, right? This is who Mark is. The Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. This is who it is. Go ahead.
but
Verse,
Paul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia, and went not with them to the work.
so Paul and Barnabas wanted to go back. Paul and Barnabas, read Acts. They originally went out together. They went to teach, right? They were gone from Jerusalem for a while. They decided, let's go back to Jerusalem to teach, to see the brothers, right? Barnabas said he wanted to take John, whose surname is Mark. Paul says, but Paul thought it was not good to take him with them, who departed from Pamphylia and went not with them to the work. So Paul separated from Barnabas and Mark, right? And he went on his own. Go ahead.
It says
Verse
15, verse 40.
no,
I mean
verse
30.
30.
39. Pardon me. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed unto Cyprus.
Right? So we see Luke, who is the author of Acts, knew who Mark was, right? Also, it shows these are apostles. These are, and they had disputations among themselves. It says they had sharp contention amongst each other. Like, nah, I don't want to take them, bro. Like, I'm not taking. You understand? Like, you go, you take them, and I'll go separate, right? Because ultimately, we know from history that Mark was a student of Peter's. Luke is a student of Paul, right? So you see, like, not separate schools or anything, but it's like, that's my, like my spiritual son, your spiritual son, right? So we see in history that these people, it's a community, right? It's a community. They know each other, right? So now we had read let's continue. A Katazar, can you bring back up that for me? Now go back to the last one.
This one?
Mm-hmm. It's up already. It was up already. You just had to click into the screen so that you could blow it up. Mm-hmm. All right, go to, you had finished. Oh, he went to the other one. Let's just keep going. The Acts of the Apostle. Go ahead. Now start from Mark. You see Mark? Can you read Mark up there?
Yeah. Mark attributed to a companion of the Apostle Peter.
Mm-hmm.
Luke is a historical narrative written by a physician and associate of the Apostle Paul.
Mm-hmm.
The Acts of Apostles, serving as a sequel to the Gospel of Luke, Acts, details the history of the early church immediately following Yahushua's resurrection and ascension, documenting how the Christian message spread from Jerusalem across the Mediterranean world.
So this is going into the different parts of the New Testament. You had the Gospel, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Acts of the Apostle, the epistles. Go ahead.
The epistle letters, 21 instructional and theological letters written by early church leaders such as Paul, Peter, James, and John. 13 of these are attributed to Paul,
Mm-hmm.
written to guide, correct, and encourage early Christians.
All right, we could bring up the last one. You could just hit escape and it's gonna back out. No, hit the next one.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Remember the bottom button there. Yep. Revelation. Zach.
Yeah. Revelation, the final book in the canon, also known as Apocalypse, written by the
That's so we know that it was written in Greek. Well, Revelation is a title that they put on it later. The original title was Apocalypse. Go ahead.
Yep, so the final book in the canon, also known as Apocalypse, written by the Apostle John.
Mm-hmm.
It contains apocalyptic and prophetic visions meant to provide challenge and comfort to believers regarding the ultimate triumph of God Most High over evil.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Historical context.
Historical content. Original language, Koine Greek,
Mm-hmm.
the common language of the Roman Empire during the 1st century. Composition, written over a period of about 50 years in the second half of the 1st century CE.
So you see that in the second half, over about 50 years in the second half of the 1st century, right? So the 1st century is 0 to what's his name? 0 to 100. That's the 1st century. No, that's the 100 to 200, right? So go ahead.
Canonization. The 27-book collection was gradually recognized and finalized by the early church councils in the late 4th century CE.
Right? So no one's ever questioned what books are in the Old Testament. The only reason they have the canonization issue on the New Testament is because you had this thing known as the what do we call these people? They're it's Greek. It's a bunch of writings people were writing, like the Gospel of Barnabas. There was a bunch of books written around that time, and they were claiming that Gnosticism. That's the book. That's what the rise of Gnosticism. That's the reason they had to canonize what books are in the New Testament, because there was a bunch of people writing books and claiming that they were written by the 12. And it got to let me take you back to how it was. Like, picture Christ, right? Christ died. His teachers follow after him, teaching this, right? They're becoming more powerful. This is underground. It's not legal, right? You have to understand, early Christianity was illegal. People were getting killed for it, but it was popular. Like all black things, underground. It's
Are like us now.
like us, exactly. Whatever we do is trendy, is popular, right? While being subjugated to another people. And so what ended up happening is the government, and then not necessarily the government, I'm not going to put it all on the government, but people were wanting to get their influence within this growing thing. And so they start coming up out the woodwork with, oh, well, we got the book of Thomas. We got the book of whoever, right? And so it was so widespread that they had to decide, like, yo, which ones can we validate was written by the apostles? And that's why you see more emphasis on Paul's letters, because Paul was more closer to the fact, to the point, right? Go ahead.
But even so, one of the things that I've learned too is that when you talk about in the Apocrypha, they don't want to use that because they're saying that too is not canon.
That's a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
That, like I said earlier, no one in the history until around the 16th, 17th century has ever questioned the Apocrypha. That is a new thing in the earth, right? This is only, and mind you, what's this guy's name? Martin Luther. Martin Luther, right? In the Bible that Martin Luther grew up reading had the Apocrypha. His problem with the Bible is he says that it's not inspired by God because there's no thus saith the Most High in it, which is true. None of the apocryphal books have that express saying, thus saith the Most High, but it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. For example, right?
This is where Isaiah 28, 9 and 10.
Exactly. Take the book of Kings, book of Chronicles. Those are historical accounts. It doesn't need it. Because, and when you look at the Bible, and it brings a very interesting question to mind for people. When you look at the Bible, do you just look at this as a religious book? Or do you look at it as a history of a people, including their God and what their God's views and instructions are? And that's how I look at it. It's more than just the word of God.
Our constitution,
Our
culture.
Our culture, our constitution, our history, right? This is all in the Bible. And Martin Luther, Edomite, he don't see the need for those things, right? But Martin Luther grew up with his Bible having it. It's only until the 17th century that came in. Nobody's ever questioned that. No one has ever questioned the Old Testament, period, right? Period. No one has ever questioned the Old Testament because we had control of the books the whole time. You understand? That's why no one can question the Old Testament. We had the stewardship of our book. We get to say what's in the book and what's not, right? The New Testament is where people get questioned on what's in it and what's not. And that's because of the rise of people just wanting a piece of this, and they want to put their spin on our history and on our culture, right? And we can't validate who wrote this, so they just did away with them, right? So now let's go back to this. Let's go to Luke 21 verse 5.
Now, book of Luke,
Chapter
chapter 21, verse 5.
So we said that the New Testament is a confirmation of Old Testament prophecies, right? So we showed earlier Ephraim being kicked out, prophecy of Judah being kicked out, right? We showed Moses prophesizing that before we got in the land, that at some point we'll be kicked out of the land, right? So let's go to Luke 21, verse 5.
The book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 5. And some spake to the temple. And as some spake of the temple, how it was adorned with goodly stones and gifts, he said, as for these things which ye behold, the days will come, in the which there shall not be left one stone upon another, that shall not be thrown down.
So Yahushua in his time confirmed the destruction of the temple was prophesied, right? Go ahead.
Verse 7, Luke 21, verse 7. And they asked him, saying, Master, but when shall these things be? And what sign will be there? And what sign will there be when these things shall come to pass? And he said, take heed that ye be not deceived. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ of Mashiach. And the time draweth near. Go ye not therefore after them.
Mind you, in the story of the execution, right? What was the of Hamashiach's death, right? He had what was the name of the prisoner that
That was one side of him. One of them that was side of him. Tomorrow.
that no, the prisoner that they released, Barabbas. You know what Barabbas means? What Barabbas mean? Son of God.
Okay.
Exactly. Son of Abba, yeah, son of the Father, right? So when Christ said that there'll be many Christs, right?
Right. Yeah.
We have to understand that during that time there was a lot of people claiming to be the Messiah. There was a lot of people claiming to be the Messiah. In fact, the book of Romans, chapter 13, when Paul is saying about the leaders, following the leaders, it's because of that people were following people who was revolting, who was claiming to be the Son of God, right? They were claiming to be Christ. We know the Son of God is Christ, right? So Barabbas is the Son of God. He was supposed to be a Christ also, right? But let's continue.
Luke 21, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by.
Mm-hmm.
Then said he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And great earthquakes shall be in divers places,
Mm-hmm.
and famines, and pestilence, and fearful sights, and great signs shall be from heaven.
So just because somebody said that they're Christ, if they don't come with all of this, pay them no mind, right? Somebody, right? I've said this before I, Yawasop, have witnessed a debate between two people claiming to be Christ. Yes, yes, it's true. On Clubhouse, I've listened to two people who claim to be Christ debate each other. It's madness, right? You don't pay it no mind, right? Don't pay it no mind. Do you come with the earthquakes, the pestilence, the darkening of the sun, all of that? Don't pay it no mind. I did it for entertainment purposes. You know, I'm like, let me just listen. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say, as you
No,
said,
not you. 1 second.
Yeah, but you know, in all fairness,
Mhm.
Good.
what happened is every individual must study the word so they know what to look for and what to X out of the picture, because the scripture said all eyes shall behold him when he come back.
Oh, exactly.
The same way he went up, that's the
The
same way.
coming down. And you make the excellent point, right? Because one of those individuals has a big following. He has a big following online. Yaju Judah, exactly. He has approached many camps already, trying to get them to follow him.
Oh, who said it again? You said
His name is Yaju Judah. He's approached camps. He's approached many camps. I've seen him approach Sakari, Sons of Thunder, Watchmen for Israel. He's in Atlanta. But from time to time he travel, and he'll come out and approach a camp. And yes. Yes, this is true. I haven't heard from him recently. He's kind of went quiet, but about 2 years ago, he was making a whole lot of commotion. He's been in front of ISUPK in New York too. You got some, Mike? Yeah, he stopped by everybody. Yeah. He was trying to get followers out of the camps, basically. But he has a following, right?
He has a following.
If he have a following, it must be some people who don't
read the scriptures.
Thank you.
In fact, one of his main thing is don't read the scriptures. That's his point. He's the word of God. He said, if I'm the word of God, why you need the book for? Yeah.
That's great.
At least the group, what was in the 90s, they were more. You remember?
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yeah.
The
So
white
Yeah, so Yahweh ben Yahweh, he's
I
all
was down
he's
there
a
with him, I
famous
already
one,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Back in the 80s.
Exactly.
I saw him. I saw him.
You were more close to
The-
the scriptures.
Exactly. But the thing is like, does he fit the prophecies, you know? And none of these people who claim to be Christ, they all come with an angle, right? Hamashiach gave us the blueprint. He gave us what to look for. And none of them claiming to be Christ can ever fit what Christ said to look for, right? But the one that's fitting the description is going to be Christ, right? Let's continue. Go ahead.
I'm gonna
Yes.
say something right quick pertaining to when you saying about the Mashiach. I know everybody, y'all probably saw that, but anyhow, right there on what is that? Pennsylvania. You know, like with a Jackie Robinson, you know what that's right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
remember I was saying about that billboard, that billboard? Yeah, it
but
said-
they spell it different.
Yeah, it's about Mashiach. It said Mashiach.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we know when the Savior come back on this earth, he chopping off heads. So how can the Messiah be here?
Yeah, and you
That's
see
right.
you see the
Killing. Yeah,
the
with an M.
so-called Jewish people,
With the-
every
we
2 months you'll
pronounce
see
it with an
them
A.
pop up a new Messiah,
M-O,
right?
Mashiach.
And it's got so crazy. I've seen Muslims get in on this. I want to show you guys a picture real quick. Yeah, Muslims have gotten in on this Messiah craze, and it just goes to show that the word of Hamashiach Yahushua is true, right? Oh, I didn't save it. Shoot. But I've seen it. Here it is. Right here. I was coming home from work at night, and on 42nd Street, before I go in the train station, I seen this. It says, "Love for all, hatred for none. The Messiah has come. www.muslimsforpeace.org." So Muslims are now getting them. I'll pass it along, but yes, Muslims have gotten in on this. You can't really see it too clear. But yeah, Muslims have gotten in on this Messiah craze. And to me, when I seen it, all it meant for me was just a reaffirmation of what Yahushua said. Many people are going to be climbing Christ at that time, because we know what Christ means, Messiah, right? So all that was for me when I seen this, and where was this? This is January 23rd. I seen this earlier this year, right? So all this is just reaffirmation, reconfirmation of what Christ says. Many people are going to come around claiming Christ, but if they ain't got the proof with it, that's just words, right? Let's continue.
Yeah.
Verse
You know,
12.
because Luke chapter 21, verse
12.
12. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake.
Mhm.
It shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts.
So you see that? It says, you're going to bring us. Listen, it's a heavy thing to follow Christ, right? It's a heavy thing. Know the cost, right? That just as our Lord died, the scriptures say, as a king, so is his subjects, right? Just as our king died, we have to be willing to give it up to. Right? Just as our king died, we have to be willing to give it up. Right? So bear the cost, right? Bear in mind the cost, right? That somebody might say, "Hey, that's that brother. I seen him at the house of David. Let's get him." And they're gonna bring you in front of people and testify. Do you know they're in the process of trying to get the New Testament banned as anti-Semitic? Yep, because the New Testament says that the Jews gave up Christ. I mean, we did, not they, but we did, not they, but they say because the New Testament says that can be perceived as anti-Semitic and spread to Jewish hate. And so they're trying to get the new. So all of these things, you see how it comes together, right? how we're going to be questioned for his name's sake, right? Because they round up, hey, Katazar, you House of David, y'all are Messianic Hebrew Israelites, right? You believe in Yahweh? You understand? And Revelation says that they'll deliver you again. Revelation says the same thing. And for an hour, right? They'll deliver you to. Go ahead.
Read the one in Revelation.
Con,
There's
let me-
something in it that I remember.
Come on. I believe it's in Revelations 2.
What is it, 2 and 9?
No. Let me check it. Let me just search for it. But you continue reading Luke. Let me look for this real quick.
All right, yep. Yeah, book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 14. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. For I, Yahushua, will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And ye shall be betrayed both by parents.
Go ahead.
And you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall be caused to be put to death.
So you see that? It says, let me go back, right? It says, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. So they're going to put you on the stand. They're going to put you on the stand, right? But Yahweh says, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. So don't even think about it. Don't even trip, right? It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. So that's Yahweh Shai is going to be speaking through you, right?
And that too, you see right there?
Mm-hmm.
That means you got to read the scripture, because the Most High is going to need something to work with too.
Yeah, what? Yeah, I know that's right. You're right about
Exactly,
that.
right? It says, and how they going to get you? Your own people are going to be the one that turn you over. Yeah, them Israelites, right? When they start cracking down and having a New Testament is illegal, and right? Your own people gonna give you up. It says you shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks, your family,
Yeah.
right? And friends. And some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
What?
Right? So let's get that in Revelation. It's 17. Revelation 17.
Yeah.
What's that?
Another thing too, some of those friends are the same Israelite brother.
Of course.
You heard.
Hey,
That's right.
just the other day, I was at home thinking, and I'm like, I haven't been in the truth for a very long time. I'm coming up on like 8 years right now, right? July is going to make 8 years I've been in the truth, right? And I thought, I know so many brothers when I started that I used to watch that was in the truth, that's not in the truth no more. Imagine somebody like Ben or Rakah who's been doing this 30 years. You know how many, man, those same people that's going to betray you going to be the one to be like, man, I'm glad I got out of that cult years ago. But I know the brother Zechariah, he's still into that. Maybe y'all could go find the whereabouts of Caleb from Zechariah. You understand? This is how it's going to be. Their brothers are going to give you up, right? Like, Yasha Alaba, how many years you been? How much? 30 years, right? How many people you know that's not in the truth anymore? Everybody outside the building.
You see outside the door,
Outside the building, right? Go ahead.
Remember when I always said everybody? Because like I say, when I leave out the door, we always say, I'm looking for any one of y'all. I'm looking for one of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm walking, hey, brother Zachary, how you doing? I go like this. Say a prayer for me.
Nah.
I mean, he fell. It says it should be a falling away first, and then shall wax cold. That's what
I get what you're saying. He's saying if you see somebody and you yell him Zechariah and he give you that cold look, he said, pray for him because many have fallen away, right?
Yeah, 'cause they
That's
stopped.
true, man. Because I think back when I was brand new in the truth. I was super brand new in the truth. I was months probably because I was still living with Nakamia in Queens at the time before I even got my place. And I remember, you know, when you're brand new, you got the zeal, the joy. I had my fringes on, and I was at 179th Street train station in Queens, Jamaica, and I'm going on the train, and I see a brother getting off the train, and he had fringes on, right? And I'm like, I was so excited because it's like I was just watching videos. We wasn't even at House of David yet. Like we was just so. I want to say about the December of the year before I started getting into the truth, right? Like it's a long story, but I started watching Israelite videos, and about April or May, I decided, man, the Most High ain't gonna give me too much more chance. Like I'm watching the videos, I'm faithfully waking up early in the morning, turning the videos on, got it in my headphones, reading the Bible, all that, but I was still being carnal, right? Still in my worldly ways, right? And I took it to Nakamia in about April. I'm like, bro, we the Israelites, bro. I'm convinced. I'm somebody that I like to study. I like to look into things, right? So when I heard it, I went and I started looking into it, right? I took it to Nakamia. I'm like, bro, we're the Israelites, man. This is us. I'm like, I didn't know my father. I'm the youngest, but my mom and him had separated before I was even born. But from what I was told about my father is that my father was heavily into the Bible too. Like he would, and my father's family, I know them and they're all church people, right? So I'm like, it explains why we're like that, man. And I'm like, and I took it to Nakamia, and you know, he did his time too. So about mid-May, I'm like, yo, we can't, the Most High ain't gonna give us too much chance. So we started getting fringes on our shirts and all that, right? Now, the first time I seen somebody else in person with fringes, 179th Street F train. I'm going down the train station. This brother coming out the train station, he got his fringes on. And I'm like, hey, shalom, brother. And the brother, I always remember, he looked at me, looked at my fringes, and he said, who you with? He wasn't ICPK. He was I'm like, I don't have a camp yet. I'm like, well, who you with? He said, well, ICGJC. And he said he paraphrased the verse. He said, Paul said, let there be no division among you. So if you don't believe what we believe, I can't shalom you. I was brand new. A couple months of actually trying to practice this, to trying to walk by this. And this brother said that to me, right? So when Zach said that, that struck a chord with me. Like, you know, I didn't pray for him. I was offended. You know, I was offended. Like, what is this? Like, like this is the good news, and this is how you greet somebody. You know, like, and the brother didn't like. I know I had glee all over my face. The brother looked at me. Then I see him look at my fringes. Then instead of shaloming, who you study with? That was more important than my shalom. I'm like,
that's how you know that scripture is real, because they're gonna turn us in for real, bro.
Yeah, they let a scripture turn them against your brother, right? Like, I don't even at the mind you, I didn't at this time. First off, no disrespect to those brothers at ICGJC, but I've never in one time in my life watched any of their videos. I didn't even know who they are, right? So for you to say that is like, one, I don't know you. I don't even, that idea of separation ain't even in my mind. You understand? Like, so we have to understand, like, Israelite Church of God in Jesus Christ. That's the comfy. Come to find out later, their group. Yes, the group that, yeah. But Yeah, they wear all white, and I've had several instances with them too. They will not return your shalom. If you ever see them in camp, they will. These brothers are militant on not wishing you peace. I've seen them at Nostrand and Fulton. They got the all white on. They're doing their camp. And I walk by, shalom them. Brothers did not even acknowledge me. And I'm like, okay, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'll keep it pushing from now, you know. Not even going shalom, y'all.
That's right.
But
Now I won't say add on to that. You see how I've seen several brothers too. You know, if I see, I'm gonna salute you. I don't care who you are, where you at.
yeah,
If they say who we with or whatever, and they say like what you just said, well, nah, we ain't with that. I'm gonna say, you know what? It depends on the spirit that you don't really believe in the Most High because we gotta be in one accord. They still in the world. But see, yeah, go ahead.
they take because brothers are not under their school that we're against them, right? And that's so against Christ's teaching, right? Because remember, I'll get you 1 second. Christ said, the apostles came to Christ and said, Lord, there's other people teaching in your name. And what Christ said, if they're not with us, if they're not against us, they're with us. Right? So I'm not against any camp, any school. I'm not against any of y'all, man. Teach what y'all teach. Wake up our people. Teach salvation for your people. And as far as I'm concerned, we cool, man. I pray to see y'all in the kingdom. Exactly. Khan, you have something?
Also, because even in Corinthians talks about we only know in part.
Exactly.
You know, we don't have the whole thing on lock.
So, so I'm sure those brothers that school, we all have work to do, right? We all have to grow with it. The Revelation. Khan, let's get Revelation 17 and verse 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings.
Wait,
Which you don't want that, no?
I think it's verse 17, so I can.
Hold on.
No, that's not at all.
Yeah, hold on. It might be it.
1 second.
I think he's it.
I thought it was earlier. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
What's a lock here? Anybody could look it up because it's where they bring you for judgment in Revelation. Persecution. One second. Yes.
Is it 18 and 10?
Maybe. Let me see. No, that's. Give me 1 second. Let me look this up. I'm surprised you're applying him. Judgment. KJV. Oh, okay. I know they have it in Matthew 5. Let's do that for now while I look at it. Matthew 5:25.
Yeah, that's old, man. No, that's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 45. 25? Yeah. Read the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, while thou art in the way with him. Lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer,
Mhm.
and thou be cast into prison. Verily I say unto thee, thou shalt by no means come out thence till thou hast paid the uttermost farthing.
Right. So we see we're gonna have to come back to this because I can't find it in Revelation. Persecuted. 1 second. Let me try that. Sir.
Timothy 3:12.
No, it's in Revelation. There's one way they're delivered. I thought it was in 2. Give me 1 second. Let me just quickly read. Oh yeah. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 10.
The book of Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
Yeah.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison,
Mhm.
that ye may be tried. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days.
Mhm.
Be thou faithful unto death, and I, Yahweh, shall will give you the crown of life.
Right? So we have to understand that this is coming, right? All of us might not get it, but some of us are certainly going to get it, right?
You gotta remember the scripture too.
And you have to keep that in mind, and the devil knows our weakness, right? You're going to say, man, don't you want to get back to your family? just renounce this whole cult, go on TV and say all of this is made up, man. The so-called people in Israel, they're the real Jews. The New Testament is a fairy tale. The black people are Hamites, and go about your life. You understand? They're gonna sweeten it. They're gonna entice it, just like in the Apocrypha with the woman with the 7 sons, right? They're gonna do the same thing, just like they did with what's the Levite name? That he had a good reputation, and they said just eat this swine. You don't even have Eleazar. They said you don't even have to eat the swine. Just pretend that it's swine, so that the rest of the people would think you ate swine, and you could, right? They're gonna sweeten the pot and make it sound, But as the scriptures say, be faithful even unto death, right? Stand 10 toes down in this. Nah, the black, Hispanics, and Native Americans of Negro and Indian descent, we're the Israelites, and the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, right? Jesus Christ is a so-called black man, you understand, right? We got to stand 10 toes down for this, It's something that, a coworker of mine, she's seen, so the way social media work, right? People that are in your phone, like if you go on TikTok, they'll refer someone you might know, So my coworker, she's seen this, and we've talked about this, and she's like, "Yeah, Israelite." You're like, "Yeah," like, because you can see like on my picture is a camp, like I got the garment, camp, right? And I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Don't like don't the world hate that?" I'm like, "Yeah, it comes with it." I'm like, it comes with it. They're like, and what if your job says that? I'm like, then I can't do this job anymore. I'm like, because I can't put this world over. Christ said, if you love your family, this world more than me, you're not worthy of me, right? So you got to be willing. Listen, and it's something that my family knows, my wife knows, right? That if the day comes that the Most High sees fit to put me to that fire and put me to that, hey, do what you got to do to survive. You would take care of the kids and yourself. But me, I'm gonna stand 10 toes down, and if they decide that they're gonna kill me, they're not gonna send me back home. It is what it is, right? Because how would I look to my kids then at the first sign of trouble, I bail on everything I believe. I can't even look at my kids in the face no more. I can't tell them to call on Yahweh by Yahweh Shai no more. Why? Because as soon as trouble came, Dad, look at you. You know, like, yeah, I folded. I folded like a napkin at a restaurant, right? No, so we got to stand 10 toes down for this, right? We always, I'm gonna wrap the class up right soon, but I want us to realize, right, that the scriptures give us examples of things, right, for a purpose. Always remember Job. Always remember Job. Job should be one of the examples that we hold to when things get rough. When his wife said to him, "Curse God and die," right? He did not, right? Job stood 10 toes down, right? He was complaining to his friends, but the scripture said, "In all this he sinned not," right? So we have to keep that remembrance, right? That the Most High is the architect. He's the one with the plan. He will not leave us. He will not leave us just out to dry, right? But your trying is how you perfect in your soul. That's,
John the Baptist gave his life for the Most High.
exactly. John the Baptist, right?
Yeah.
John the Baptist for rebuking the Herod's daughter.
Right.
For indecency, dancing in front of her father.
Right.
He rebuked her, and that made her mad. So on her birthday, she said, "Give me his head." Right? He could have just been like, "Yo, you know what? I was tripping. I had some wild honey. I had my mind going crazy," you know. But no, he stood 10 toes down, right? And he died for this, right? I want to get one thing before we finish the class, right? Because a couple of verses, because the importance of the New Testament. I just want to I mentioned it earlier, the birth, life, and death of the Messiah, right? But the one of the key things is the ascription of messianic prophecy to Christ, that we appointed, again, how we know who Christ is, the prophecies, right? Well, we ascribe the prophecies to Christ, right? And I want to just read a couple of those prophecies before we get out of here, right? Because it is very important that we understand. Without the Old Testament, it's like how we look at Muhammad. So, who are you? Why should we even care? It's the same thing. Without the Old Testament, why should we even care about what Christ did? Right? You have to understand that. If the Old Testament didn't exist, the importance of Christ wouldn't be there. You understand that? That Christ, the prophecies, right? So let's get 2 Samuel chapter 7. I want to show that this is prophesied, that someone, as Israel, we know we are the sons of God, right? Huh? But someone is going to be a special son of God, right? 2 Samuel chapter 7 and verse number 12.
The book of 2 Samuel chapter 7 verse 12. And when the days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom.
So this is a promise the Most High made to David when David was in his old age. Go ahead.
He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever.
So let's pause right there. How do we know this isn't Solomon?
See the line.
Well, Solomon came from his little. Well, I get what you're saying. The kingdom is forever. Will Yahweh shall build a house for the Most High? Absolutely. He has to. This is, and how you know something is crazy is people prophesize a third temple being built. The third temple ain't being built. Not until we get in the land. So we know that Yahweh Shah, and we're not getting in the land till Yahweh Shah come. So Yahweh Shah has to build a temple, right? Yahweh Shah. So when people, all this going on in Jerusalem and there's a committee in Israel called the Third Temple Committee, where they are trying to build a third temple. It's not going to happen, right? Right? So Yahweh Shah will also build a temple for the Most High, and his kingdom shall be forever. Go ahead.
So
Verse
13.
mhm.
No, hold on.
Verse 14.
Yeah, 14. Yeah, 14.
Mhm.
Go to 2 Samuel 7, verse 14. I will be his father, and he shall be my son.
Mhm.
If he commit iniquity, I the Most High will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men.
Mhm.
But my mercy shall not depart away from him,
Mhm.
as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever.
So we know that this is a future prophecy, still yet to come, right? When Christ came, did Christ sit on the throne of David?
No.
He did not, right? The Babylonians had already taken away the king, the king's house, his castle. They destroyed all of that. They took it, right? Not just the temple. They took all of that, right? So when Christ walked the earth, there was no throne for him to sit on.
Going back to when you said Yahweh Shah will build a house for the Most High.
Sidebar, do you know the name? I'll get to you 1 second. You know the name of the throne in England? Nobody knows the name of the throne that the king and queen sit on. It's called the Jacobite throne. Sons of Jacob throne. That's a fact. The name of the throne they sit on is called the Jacobite throne. Now, I'm not saying that's the same one, but I'm just saying it's a weird name for y'all to have.
The stone underneath the throne. You know about that?
What that is? What is ivory? I think it is.
No, the stone that.
That he slept on. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Go on, see. So the Jacobite throne, Jacobite. That name to me is offensive. But you know, go ahead.
This is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 1 and 2.
Mhm.
You say Yahweh Shah will build a house, and let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in the Most High, believe also in me.
Mhm.
Verse 2, in my Father's house are many mansions.
Mhm.
If it were not so, I would have told you. I
Mhm.
go to prepare a place for you.
That's right. Right. So let's give one more messianic prophecy.
John chapter 14, verse 1 and 2.
So I got a question before we do this. Do y'all believe we're in the new covenant? How do you guys view the new covenant? I'm asking the class.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're in the new covenant?
I would think so, yeah. Because
What say you, Mike? Are we in a new covenant?
my covenant.
You think, Khan? Okay. No.
No.
I don't. The reason I asked this, right? And this isn't my class. This isn't, but I don't believe we're in the new covenant. I would ask a question. When did the new covenant start? Right? Because, go ahead.
When Christ and the disciple was in the upper room and he had the cup of
And he
wine,
said, it's done.
This is the cup of the
New covenant.
the New Testament.
Exactly. Drink it. Okay.
That's why
And that's Khan. I understand all of that, right? But it's a very interesting topic, right? Because he said this is the cup of the new covenant. But Let's just do it. Ezekiel 37. So while this is how I feel, that it's instituted, Christ gave it to them, the cup for the new covenant. They drank of it, right? So while they instituted it, it's not necessarily onset. I'll say that, right? Let's get Ezekiel 37, verse 21.
That book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 21. And say unto them, thus said the Lord Adonai, Most High Power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. And I, Most High, will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all.
Yes, Yahushua,
You
right?
already know that. Yep.
Come on, go ahead.
And they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their omnipotent ultimate power.
So the Most High, this is a promise that the Most High has given, right? Go ahead.
And David, my servant, shall be king over them.
So we know that in the case he's talking about the line of David, right? This is Yahushua. This David is Yahushua. Go ahead.
And they all shall be one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt.
So we're going right back to where our forefathers was at. Go ahead.
And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them.
So you see this? He's saying after this, he'll make the covenant with them. Go ahead.
Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I, the Most High, will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore.
So he said, after he brings us into the land, he's going to make a covenant with them. Let's go one more. Let's go to Ezekiel 20, verse 33. Stay in Ezekiel.
That book of Ezekiel, chapter 20, verse 33. As I live, said the Lord Adonai, Most High Power, surely with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, will I, the Most High, rule over you.
So the Most High saying he's going to rule over us, whether we like it or not. Go ahead.
And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out.
Bring that back verse again.
And I will bring you out from the people, and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered, with a mighty hand, and with a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out. And I, the Most High, will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and there will I plead with you face to face.
So the Most High is talking about the redemption of Israel, right? Whether we like it or not, the Most High is going to gather us all and bring us back to the wilderness. Go ahead.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt, so will I plead with you.
The same way he pleaded with our father, and that plead doesn't mean plead. That plead is shapat, judge. I will judge you just like I judged your fathers in the wilderness. They make it sound softer than what it is. But he's not begging you, he's not offering you milk and cookies to behave yourself. He's going to judge you. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord out of most high power.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, so if you want to leave the truth now, you might as well leave it.
Yeah.
I know I ain't.
I mean, there's no life out
But
there.
how about this though?
Mhm.
You leave the truth, but the Most High is still watching you because He's everywhere. That's what they don't understand that part.
And he said, and he's gonna with what did he say? With
With,
fury poured out, I will rule over you. So whether you like,
one way or another.
yeah, he said with a stretched out, with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. You have a son? Yeah, no son, right?
Yeah.
You have a son. You know, when your son is a certain age, man, you just gotta grab him up. You know, like what you think you're doing. That's how the Most High dealing with us. With a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and with fury poured out, I will rule over you.
I want to say this pertaining to that too. You see how when it says face to face right here,
Mm-hmm.
you said, and there will I plead with you face to face. So now I'm thinking about all that time, like all the movies we watch,
Mm-hmm.
which is also in other words, we're gonna hear his voice.
Of course.
I'm thinking at that time, you're gonna hear his voice.
Yeah,
But you ain't gonna see nothing.
yeah, con. Right? So let's go back there. Where was that? 36?
Verse 36, yeah.
Mhm.
Read that, yeah.
Yeah,
Read the
like
book
as I
of
pleaded.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 36. Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt,
Mhm.
so will I the Most High plead with you, said the Lord, out of the Most High power. And I will cause you to pass under the rod, and I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
So you see that? Now, the reason I say about the covenant, right? When we entered into the last covenant, how did we do that?
That was the sacrifice, I believe, that
The
was
high
made
priest.
when we went in Exodus 24.
But what? How did it
It
happen?
was a blood covenant.
It was a blood covenant, but we agreed on it. You understand? Where Moses read the book, they killed the book, they killed the bulls, poured the blood in the basins. He read from the book, and he said, "Do we agree?" And he said, "Yes." And then he sprinkled the blood on the people and on the book. That was coming under the covenant, right? So while Yahushua did say that in the upper room for the last supper, it's not initiating the covenant. We know a new covenant is coming. What's that? That's I know, but the initiation of it. Go ahead. The ceremony of it. You're 100% right, Yasha Alaba, because when he said, Pontius Pilate said he washed his hands of this people, what did we say? Let his blood be on us and our children, right? So we know that that's symbolic, right? But the actual new covenant. Go ahead, Mike. You had your hand up. I got you. I should have got to this part earlier.
Before you go here, the word covenant just means agreement. Christ dying for us is the agreement for all the things that happen later.
Yes, absolutely. But the new covenant, I'm glad I should have led with this earlier, because this is a better topic. It's just that it comes from the New Testament, right? Because the word testament just means covenant, right? So they kind of lend themselves into each other, right? I'll get Hebrews 9, but let's finish that verse.
In Ezekiel, right?
37 again.
Yeah, read the book of Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 37. And I will cause you to pass under the rod.
So he's going to correct us, right? Go ahead.
And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
So there is the bond of the covenant, right? That's where as
Gotta
a
read the next verse.
nation, we all fall under it. Go ahead.
And I, the Most High, will purge out from among you the rebels and them that transgress against me.
Mm-hmm.
I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn, and they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I, the Most High, am the Lord Most High.
Isn't that interesting, right? The Most High said he's going to bring them out from the land where they're at, but he's going to purge out the rebels and they won't enter into the land. So the Most High is literally bringing them from wherever they're at to kill them in the wilderness, to prove to them that he is the Lord, right? And the new covenant is the spirit of the Most High entering in us, dwelling in us, causing us to not sin, right? But he got Hebrews 9 and 15, right?
Yep, read the book of Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15.
But let's do Hebrews 8. Let's try to go through this quickly, and then we go right. Start at 8, and then we'll go to 9 and 15.
Or Romans 8,
No, Hebrews 8.
Hebrews 8 what? 1?
From the top.
From the top. That book of Hebrews chapter 8, verse 1. Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum, which have such an high priest.
Mm-hmm.
Now of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum.
Uh-huh.
We have such an high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesty in the heavens.
All right. So he's saying this is the conclusion of what we're talking about. We have a high priest who sit on the right hand of the Most High. Go ahead.
A minister of the sanctuary
Mm-hmm.
and of the true tabernacle which the Lord Adonai pitched and not man.
Right. So we got a minister of the sanctuary, the true tabernacle. Go ahead.
For every high priest is ordained to offer gifts and sacrifices. Wherefore it is of necessity that this man have somewhat also to offer.
Mm-hmm.
For if he were on earth, he should not be a priest, seeing that there are priests that offer gifts according to the law.
Right. So we know he's talking about Christ, right? That the high priest is ordained to offer gifts, right? We're supposed to give the high priest gifts. Go ahead. Go
Who
ahead.
serve unto the
Go ahead.
who
verse
serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses has admonished of God Most High power when he
Mhm.
was about to make the tabernacle.
It says, so he's talking about the temple and the tabernacle. Christ as the high priest. He says, whose Christ serve unto the example and shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of God when he was about to make the tabernacle. Remember in Exodus, the Most High told Moses the vision he's going to show him, make it like he see it, right? And Moses took down the measurements for the tabernacle, right? So when the tabernacle was made, you have the high priest, they have to wash themselves, then go in, offer sacrifice for themselves, then offer sacrifice for the other people, right? So the author of Hebrews is just explaining that. Go ahead.
It says Hebrews 8 verse 6.
Mm-hmm. But now,
Verse 5. I ain't finished reading the whole thing. Verse 5.
mm-hmm.
Who serve unto the example and the shadow of heavenly things, as Moses was admonished of the Most High power when he was about to make the tabernacle. For, see, saith he, that you make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount.
Mm-hmm.
But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant,
Mm-hmm.
which was established upon better promises.
Right? So the new covenant and the old covenant are two separate covenants, right? What is the old covenant? What is it? We know when it happened, but what exactly is the covenant? Oh, anybody know what the covenant is? The old covenant? The old covenant is the agreement. What's that?
The agreement of the land.
The agreement of the land to be his people, he be our God. And a part of that is keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. So this is what they're saying, that the agreement of the old covenant, that was the promises of the old agreement. Now he says this new covenant has better promises, right? Why is the new covenant a better promise than the old covenant?
It's everlasting.
It's everlasting, but why? What's the better? Why is it better?
Because the mediator is added into it.
Because we can't break it.
Oh, that part, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, right.
In us where we can't break it, that's the new covenant.
Okay.
That's the better promises. We are not able to break this new covenant. Period.
Yeah.
We was able to break the old covenant, but we're not going to be able to break this new covenant. That's the better promises, right? Also, it lasts forever. Well, the old covenant would have lasted forever if we didn't break it. But that's why this is a better one, because we're not able to break it.
Well, it's going to be honest not to break it, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Go ahead.
That was going to add some scripture when the Most High said, you know, in Psalms 89, verse 34, it said, my covenant I will not break.
Exactly.
No
the Most High
things
didn't
out of my
break his
lips. He
covenant.
didn't break it.
We broke his covenant. Go ahead. Verse.
It was
Start at 6 again.
I'm gonna start this again. Hebrews 8, verse 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises.
Mhm. Everything is better, right? He's got a better ministry than Moses. This is just compare Christ to Moses, right? He got a better ministry. He got a better covenant, and the covenant has better promises. Go ahead.
Yeah. Verse Hebrews 8, verse 7. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second.
Right? Obviously, the covenant couldn't have been faultless. It couldn't have been foolproof. I'll say that, right? Like there was a way for the covenant to be broken. That's why he's saying it's faultless. There was a way out of the covenant. Just disobey the Most High, right? Go ahead.
For finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, said the Lord Adonai, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
So we see who the covenant's for. Israel, go ahead.
Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
So it's not like the last covenant. It's not like the last covenant that he made with our fathers. Go ahead.
And in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, said the Lord Most High. For this is the covenant that I, the Most High, will make with the house of Israel.
See, this is the new covenant. This is the new covenant. Go ahead.
For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, said the Lord Adonai. I will put my laws into their
You
minds.
see that? This is a better covenant. He's going to put it in our mind. Go ahead.
And write them in their hearts.
And write it in our hearts. Go ahead.
And I, the Most High, will be with them.
I will be to them.
And I will be to them a power. And they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord Adonai, for all shall know me, from the least to the greatest.
Right. So, and that's the question that I would say about the new covenant, is that if we were in the new covenant, there would be no need to teach. There would be everybody, all Israelites would know the Most High, right? The only ones who won't is the rebels who he's purged out before, and they'd be dead. So all the Israelites would know the Most High. But that's not the case right now. I would still say 90% of Israelites don't know the Most High. I would say very few know the Most High, right? And he hasn't written the laws in our heart because we can still break the laws. We can still go against his commandments, right? Go ahead.
In the book of Hebrews, chapter 8, verse 12. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I the Most High remember no more. In that he said, a new covenant he have made the first old.
So when the Most High said he's going to make a new covenant, he's made the first one old, obviously, because you can't have a new one if one isn't old, right? Go ahead.
Now that which decayeth and waxeth old is ready to vanish away.
So it's ready to vanish away, but it's still there. It's still there. It's still existing, right? Now, I wouldn't say 100% we're in the Old Covenant, but what I'll say is we're in grace. The Old Covenant is death. We have a chance for grace, but we're not under the New Covenant yet. It's like we're in a grace period right now. But I'll read Hebrews 9 and 15.
Okay. Oh yeah, pardon. Read the book. I thought you said you were read. Read the book of Hebrews chapter 9, verse 15. And for this cause he is the mediator of the New Testament, that by means of death, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the first testament, they which are called might receive the promise of eternal inheritance.
Right? So we see that the Most High is going to make the new covenant, that he, for the redemption, he's redeeming the people for the transgressions of the people that were under the first covenant. We know the first covenant. Hey man, this whole Bible is Israel and Judah.
I always thought like this scripture was explaining how we get our inheritance because it's talking in the language of testamentary. It says that, this is what estate law is.
Yeah.
That for there to be a testament, you have to have a testator.
A testator,
So,
yeah.
This is law.
Yeah,
This is
con.
law. So in order, that's why I didn't see this as being the new covenant. I see this as the Old Testament and New Testament.
Yeah.
Because in order for there to have a testament, you have to have a testator. And in order for you to have an inheritance, the testator has to die.
Con.
So and of course that that shows us how we are inheriting from him.
The New Testament, exactly. Right? But it's an interesting topic, right? I didn't necessarily want to do too much with that because I know it's a dicey subject, right? That it's one of the many things that Israel doesn't necessarily see eye to eye on, right? Old or new covenant. I understand where I'm not gonna be ignorant to brothers, right? I understand why brothers would see it as that. As the brother said, having the meal for Christ, right? Under the old covenant, adultery is death, right? Under the old covenant, not being circumcised on the 8th day, you're cut off, right? Under the old covenant, what else? Idolatry is death. Under the old covenant, we'd all be dead.
Wow.
Right? So I understand that position, right? But I also see that we're in the grace period, right? So with that, I'm gonna wrap my class up. I hope brothers and sisters was able to get something out of it.
Right.
We understand the New Testament is very, very important. It is very important because it's preaching that new covenant. It's showing that the messianic prophecies was given to Christ, right? That Christ fulfilled messianic prophecies. It confirms things that are in the Old Testament, that in the Old Testament, right? And it also preaches the reclamation of Israel, right? So all of these things are very important because Israel had to be scattered. Israel has to be gathered back, right? That I say shalom. Yeah, it's okay. I'm good with it. I didn't even get to that one.
What?
And